Can you first tell us or explain to our listening family how exactly you became a paraplegic? Was you born that way or what?
I'm saying in Iran, at the age of 6, and this is real, one man used me as a body shield, while another man shot and nearly killed the kid. Y'all see why my chair is supported by wheels. At first, I responded like everyone else. I said, I just feel like feeling sorry for myself. But then I said, wait a minute, Reg, that's insane. Because I realized I still had a body and I still had a brain. So I went to Hollywood and got the acting spell. Y'all see me on TV, you say, Reg, you done well. I got my start on the flick called Aftermash. I went to Boyz in the Hood and picked up some cash. Everywhere I go, people always look. They say, Reg, your face belong on magazine books. It's strong, sensitive, kind and sweet. I got a mind that matches that hates defeat. And all of my challenges I know I'll meet, even with these wheels underneath my feet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, what did I just
okay.
say? I got shot at 6 years old.
Wow. And
Sitting
that's
there
something.
in my grandparents' neighborhood. Unfortunately, it was on a president's holiday, and I was 6 years old, and it was my grandparents' neighbors. So one was 52, one was 58 years old, and they began to drink on that day. And kids used to play during that day. It was my first time on skates, and so one guy hit in the mouth with a shovel. He said he's going to get his gun. When we heard gun, first grade, somewhere with gun is run. So we
Right.
got out of there, and I fell on my skates, and I was one of the last kids to be on the sidewalk, and I was used as a shield. And so that's how I ended up getting shot. February the 12th. And then
Wow.
February the 14th, 2 days later, my father committed
Used
suicide.
you as like you knew the person that used you as a shield, right? Like did they
I,
were you
I didn't know I didn't know them personally. My grandparents did. They were my grandparents' neighbors. They lived
oh
right next door to my grandmother's house, and we were passing their house, skating, riding bikes and things. And one lived across the street from my grandmother. And these two older men began to fight over some kind of, I think they was playing cards or something. Got
yeah.
into an argument, been drinking that day, and got into a major fight, and one got hit. We saw when he got hit in the mouth with a shovel. That was pretty
Yeah.
interesting to us because the closest thing we saw anything like that happening was cartoons.
Right.
And back in that day, you don't fight. So we were looking like, oh my God, who's gonna break up these adults? And when he said, I'm going to get my gun, and blood was coming out of his mouth, we just started running. Everybody said, get out of here. And he looked up the sidewalk and came and lifted me up. And I thought he was going to help me. And everybody else did too. And they left. And I began to yell because he wouldn't letting me go.
Hmm.
And behold, the man came out and stopped in the middle of the street and pulled the trigger. So it hit my right shoulder, ricocheted off my collarbone, and hit my spinal cord, paralyzing my legs. And so
Okay.
I think when people say, how did you deal with it? At 6 years old, you have so much tragedy because I was, I think I was on life support almost. I almost died. I lost most of my blood laying there waiting
Oh.
for the ambulance to come pick me up. And so for me to get shot on that 12th of February, and then within 48 hours, my father would commit suicide. So on the 12th and on the morning of the 14th, my father committed suicide. He came back in town from visiting his biological dad at the time. So a lot in 72 hours, but I did not know my father had passed away until about maybe almost a month. I was
Yeah.
still in the hospital, and my mother brought some pictures with my uncle, and she said, baby, I got good news and bad news. Good news, she brought me some toys. Bad news, they brought the doctors in, and I wondered why were there all these people in my room? And she
Hmm.
said, baby, you lost your father. And someone had thought giving me pictures would be a good thing to do. And so they had pictures of my father in the casket and them
Mm.
at the funeral and things. And she walked out. And that's how they told me my father passed away.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You had a lot on your shoulders. I don't even know what to say. I am so speechless right now. But I mean, it's very I'm trying to see. So when you were in the hospital and you're 6 years old, first of all, you thoroughly remember everything that you just told me, or you just kind of are
Vividly. No.
you
Vividly. I
remember?
remember my dad.
Okay.
I remember my dad from probably three and a half. I mean, I know people say, "Oh, I remember." I really do.
Remember?
From from 3, 4, almost 3.5, 4 years old,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. I remember my dad vividly. Great man, a church going man, an elder in the church, athletic. He had a lot of weight on his shoulder though, because I'm the baby of five. I have a
Okay.
brother older than me that was a junior and then we have a sister older than both of us, and then we have twin sisters, and they came first, of course. One was born with cerebral palsy, and then her twin, my dad would be cutting grass, and it was the old lawnmowers where they catch the grass flies out, and you either have a catcher or you don't. And he told my sister to stand back, and she didn't stand back far enough, and the glass hit her in her eye. And so to this day, she has one eye, glass eye.
Okay.
So my mom is a great believer and praying woman, and God really blessed us to stay together all during that time, through that tragedy. And I always say it's 3 stages. There's tragedy, strategy from God, and then you have victory. And so I've been living in victory for a long time.
You sure have. You and your family. And are all of your siblings still here? They're still living?
Lost my brother to HIV/AIDS probably about now 7 years ago in Southern California. So I'm the only boy. I'm the last of the males in my family.
Yeah.
So that's been challenging, but it's good. You know, my family's real close. Here, talk to my mom every day.
Really? That's good. Well, I have a question. When you said that when they brought you the pictures and then they finally told you that your dad had passed, all that time prior to that, were you wondering like why he hadn't come to see you? Were you kind of,
where's Dad? When is Daddy coming?
Yeah.
But I knew he had went out of town. So as a kid, you're not gauging Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Right.
But you got machines, you know, hooked all up to you and everything, and different people from the church, the pastors, and all these different people came in because I was such a young man to happen, you know, this tragedy to happen to. So having visitors, the doctors, you know, not being able to feel my legs, a whole new world, as they say.
Right.
Went by fast. So when I kept on asking my mother, say, baby, you know, he's going to be here soon. And of course, that wasn't true.
Right.
But he was there in a different way. Because think about my mom. She had to deal with, here's my son. And it was in the same hospital. Upstairs is me in ICU. And then downstairs, they pronounced my father passed away.
Wow.
And never forget about that. But I have a movie based on my life story that we wrote, but it's not gauged primarily on that. It's a new concept that I think America needs to see, and that is paraplegics or physically challenged individuals, whether it be a male, female, or Afro-American, female, or male. We're not represented on TV. Einstein used to be my role model until I heard he could walk. I said, he's a fan.
Say, I know you love your dad obviously to death, but did you feel any type of maybe resentment toward him for feeling, because you were a kid and you didn't know how to process it, obviously. Did you feel like you were left at all, or did you not feel any type of maybe anger or something like that when you needed him?
I think for me, the big question was why.
Yeah.
Why was a bigger question than anything. As a kid, we had such a rich life with my dad. I mean, he took us on his boat. We go fishing. You know, he'd sneak us out trying to leave the girls. You know, we all have to be dressed and on the couch on Sundays. Old school. Never forget a story. You know, me and my brother getting bullied, running home, and my dad said, "Okay, I tell y'all what y'all do. Y'all got 1 or 2 things to do." He says, "Okay, the first one is y'all can come home and run home and tell me somebody ran y'all greens home, and then I'm gonna whoop you." He said, that's the first one. Or the second one is, wherever they attack you at, look around. And you see rocks and sticks or anything, so you know they always come after school. So y'all get y'all little sack and everything, put it to the side. And when y'all come, you tear those boys up with everything you got. And they ain't not going to pick on you no more. And that's what me and my brother did. And so we got rid of the bully. And we're like, yeah, my dad's good. Yeah, he was right.
Yeah.
So growing up, I think I had a bigger question. Why to God? Why me? By my father, and the fact that he had died. Now, we were told he died of a heart attack for years until people say, your dad was too young, Reg. Your dad didn't die of a heart attack at 26, 27 years old. Until as you got older, then questions change. The man who shot me, I was in more fear of him than anything because why did he shoot me? Again, why did he shoot me?
Right.
And so it was a lot of whys. Didn't know how to ask those questions. I was glad I was still alive, knowing that my father was gone, and I knew other people who passed away. So death was a sting to my side. So fear. I grew up with fear and a lot of whys. And as I matured and grew older, and then found out why and how my father passed away, and then all the different pressures he dealt with and insecurities, that was a lot. You know, to be 26 years old, have 5 kids, 2 with disabilities, one with one of her eyes missing.
Mhm.
That was a lot
That was a
back in those
lot.
days.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay. And so you never found out why, right? You don't know till this day.
uh, uh, you may want to get to heaven. I can ask them that question. If anything, I mean, I've been blessed to have father figures in my life, and I don't
Yeah.
mean father figures through my mother. Let's get that straight,
Okay.
because my mother did not date. Mother Morris, as her name
Oh,
is
okay.
now. Jean did not date
Okay.
until her kids were all out of high school. That was her
Mhm.
rule. She did not do us like that.
Right.
So, um, you know, growing older, being around the church, I had to learn about forgiveness. So I need to forgive the man who shot me. So when I got of age, as a teenager, I had a paper route. I had my own job. I worked since I was 12 years old plus. Um, and so when you do those things and become, I wanted to be very independent.
Mhm.
I got tired of sitting inside the house, and I was going to orthopedic handicap school, so I
Mhm.
couldn't go to school with my brothers and sisters. The yellow bus would come pick me up. They'd pick on me. So I grew up kind of angry,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get them back type attitude. And when I started doing things to get them back and being very not just vigilant, but becoming stronger physically, I did wheelchair sports and things like that. So that really changed my life when I got a ramp, then finally at my home. And I used to wear crutches and braces, but it was too slow, so I got out of that. And over the years, I've gained back a lot of my feelings as a
Oh.
paraplegic. And I still believe one day, who knows, I'll be like the man in the Bible. He was, what they say, blind for 38 years,
Right,
and then
right.
boom, they said, he said, and they said, this is done for the glory of God. So since people don't know, this
Mhm.
is a good thing I'm doing this here now.
Right.
People don't know, not only am I a paraplegic in a wheelchair, but they don't know that I'm the first Afro-American paraplegic actor in SAG-AFTRA, as well as in the Recording Academy as a gospel artist, whether it be secular music or gospel.